Hi there, my name is Kim from www.handmadebykim.co.uk, and today I'm going to show you how I made this really great fun fold card. So I'm going to be showing you how I made this card, but I'm just going to bring in a couple of other cards that I've shared on my blog recently that have used the same layout. So you may have seen these recently on my blog. This one was a swap I created for a team event where I did one in every one of the 2021 to 2023 in colours. Okay, and then I also created this card during a celebration with the Friendly Hello DSP. So I've seen quite a few of these tutorials around, but I didn't find any for the UK Cardbase sizes. So I've resized the card for the UK sizes of what are they, C6 cards. So I've cut everything I need for my card today, and we're using the Sweet as a Peach stamp set from Stampin' Up with the coordinating peach dies. So I'm going to point out what I've used to create my card. So here's all the elements I've got. I've done all the die cutting and cutting just to save a little bit of time. So what we've got here is a petal pink card base, and I've already cut a piece of A4 down to 10.5, and then I've scored 10.5 from this end like I mentioned earlier. So I'm just going to fold and burnish my score lines, and I'm going to do them in all the different directions just to make sure they're all really good. You don't need to do this, but I just prefer to. All right, let's take away this bit of cardboard underneath that's sliding around. Okay, so now we've got our card base. This is going to be the piece for the inside, so we'll come back to that. And what I've done is I've cut a piece of pattern paper and some white, basic white cardstock to layer here. And the measurements are for the white piece is 10.1 by 10.1 centimeters. I like to have a 2mm border around the outside. In fact, I'm going to go this way because that base is a little bit smaller. Okay, all right, and then the DSP panel is 9.7 by 9.7 centimeters. Then we have the side piece, which is 10.1 by 3.9 centimeters, and the DSP, which is 9.7 by 3.5. All the measurements are on my blog, so if you haven't got those down, just pop along to the blog post linked in the YouTube comments, YouTube video comments, and it'll all be there for you. Okay, I'm going to speed things up now while I'm sticking those bits down. Hold on a minute. Okay, so I've glued those pieces into place. Not too happy with this one. I haven't quite got it centered, but you know, I'm sure no one will notice. And what we're going to do now is we're going to put the ribbon in place. So I've chosen this petal pink ribbon from Stampin' Up. I've got a feeling it's going to retire this year, so I wanted to give it one last outing. It's really lovely actually. It's probably a little bit too thick for a bow, but I thought, why not? Let's if you can see here, I think it probably could do have been a bit more dainty for this card, but you know what, I quite like it. So what I've just done is I've cut a piece, I'm not quite sure how long that is. Oh, it looks to me, probably about 24 inches, so 60 centimetres. I don't need that much length, but I want to have enough space to tie my bow, so I will be chopping some off. So I've kind of just positioned it in place where I know I've got the right amount of length to tie my bow, and then I'm just going to use some Tombow to some wet glue. You could use tape if you wanted to glue this section here together, and I'm just going to place the ribbon, sandwich it in between. That will take a little while to bond. You can see it coming up already, but I'm going to try and attempt to tie my bow. Sometimes I am better tying them upside down, don't ask me why, so please don't take any bow tying tips from me, because I'm not skilled at bow tying. I'm just going to chop a little bit off them. Okay, so I'll probably tie that up a bit more. Alright, so that bow's in place. Not the best bow, but you know, we give it a go. I'm going to put the front on when we've done the inside. Okay, so this is my piece of DSP, and we're going to have this pattern shown on the inside. Or actually, should I change it up for the video? Yeah, let's do this one the other way around. So what we're going to do is we're going to fold it in half. So you could score this if you like, but I find it more accurate folding, because it's not a lot of effort to fold it. So you want it exactly in half, and then in half again, and then I'm going to just fold them the alternative way and burnish. Okay, then you're just going to, you want basically one corner to corner score line. So I'm going to go this way just once. You can do it twice, it doesn't matter, you won't notice it. And then again fold it on itself and burnish the score line. So, okay, so the way this is going to fold, so you can see those corners, these bits fold in. Okay, so you want to fold them in like that. You can play around a bit until you get it into the right spot, but you want to fold these pieces in, and then it will just be a square. So if I move it out of the way and bring this card back in, so earlier I was explaining how to try and work out how to resize this card. I didn't do the greatest job, but hopefully with a bit of scrap paper you can work it out before you go in with your favourite paper. So what you need is a piece that's going to fit really well in that space. So this piece was 14.6 by 14.6. I found that a 6 by 6 piece was just too big, and even down to 15 centimetres was too big. So I was quite happy with 14.6. So you just got to make sure you glue it in right. So you want to use wet glue again. You could use tape if you wanted, but then you've got no chance for moving it around if you need to. Add some glue to the back of one of the squares. Okay, and before you stick it down, you need to make sure it's going to open the right way. Okay, and then you're just going to center it in this piece, and then straight away put some glue on this piece, on this panel, and just really confidently fold it down. It's as simple as that. Okay, and then you can see we have our mechanism. It's a really nice fun fold actually, because it's a surprise inside rather than on the outside. So now we're going to decorate the card, and let's start with the top. So what I've done is I've cut a circle with my Layer in Circles dies, a scalloped one in Petal Pink cardstock, and then I've cut a piece of white basic white cardstock from a circle that's slightly smaller, just so we've got the scallop just peeping out, not too much. And I'm going to add that to the front using some dimensionals. You don't have to, you could decorate your version however you like. So I'm basically showing you how to make the card today. I've shown you 2 different examples, but also just showing you how I decorated mine. So I haven't used this stamp set much, and because I know the annual catalogue is coming to a close soon, I just thought, oh, I better get out the stamp sets that I haven't used yet, and get some life out of them in case they retire, because I only like to really blog what you can still buy. So you never know, this one might carry over, fingers crossed, because it's actually really nice to stamp with. It's got some really lovely images that have kind of got a distinctive feel to them, like a bit of texture. With all my stamping today, I have actually stamped off onto a piece of paper before, because I just wanted that that kind of a little bit paler look to it all, a little bit more subtle. So I'm just going to add on the back of these little peaches. I'm going to show you the stamp set in a minute, because it's a really great stamp set in the way it all works. So I'm just going to put these in place, and then I will show you the stamp set. So I'm just going to position these here. Okay, and then we'll come back to these other bits in a minute. So the stamp set is Sweet as a Peach, and there's this really nice vine that you can stamp, and then you can either add 3 peaches or you can add some flowers. Both look equally as nice. Now I did make a card earlier where this bit is die cut out. Let me just move that out of the way. This is the actual the leaves here in the card, and I went to die cut it, and my die did not match the stamp, and I thought, oh my god, have I got a defect? Is there something wrong with it? But actually, because it's quite flexible and it's a photopolymer and you can kind of move it around a bit, it really depends on how you place your stamp onto the block. So what I did, this is a little tip, so it doesn't apply to this card, but it will do on another card that you'll see on my blog, is I put the stamp on my block, and then I got the dies, and oh god, wrong way round, so if you think about it, cut inside up, and I literally positioned the stamp. Never had this before, so it's just because of the flexibility of this one, and just gotta slightly move it to make sure it lines up, so you get the gist. Wasn't too much trouble, to be fair, so not a big deal for me. But yeah, don't panic if you've got the same as, if you have the same outcome as me. So yeah, the good thing about the flowers and with the peaches, let me just show you the peaches, that makes more sense. The dies come together, so you can just stamp and just cut out at once. Oh, it's just genius, saves so much time. And also with the peach, I really didn't want to stamp over the stamp in here, so I die cut the leaves, and it's just lovely. So the colours I've actually used today are Calypso Coral and Pear Pizzazz. They are the colours that are within this DSP. So within the Pansy Petals DSP, we've got, not Pansy Petals, You're a Peach, we've got Balmy Blue, Bumblebee, Calypso Coral, Early Espresso, Mango Melody, Pale Papaya, Pear Pizzazz and Petal Pink. So I tend to just pick out a few colours that coordinate and go with them, and I really felt like with the Calypso Coral stamping, the Petal Pink just softened it all, because I really do like that kind of light look with my work. I don't use strong colours that often. If you have a look at my blog, you'll see a lot of it is mostly subtle. But anyway, really good. stamp set, especially the flowers. If you have a look at my blog, there's a blue, like a balmy blue version with the flowers. Plus I'll have another one coming up. Okay, so back to the card. So I've just simply stamped happy birthday on a bit of basic white. So these are, let me just check my measurements. These are 6.9 by 6.9 centimetres. So obviously if you've resized your card, you'll want to work out, I mean, you could make it to fit the square. I decided just to give it a little bit of a border. And this one, this is exactly the same size, of course, but I've just done a bit of stamping which says it's your day. So this is a birthday card, so it's happy birthday, it's your day. But then I'm just going to take these little leaves and just add them there. I think that's so much more effective than just stamping over the top. Then I've got a little stamp. I didn't really want to take away from anything here. I wanted the sentiment to be quite subtle, so I've just stamped "Let's Celebrate You." All of this is all from the same stamp set, so it's great. I haven't even had to look into my stash. Oh, I've got a bit of glue on that side there. Let me get that off. Okay, so what's left now? I'm just going to add some of the champagne rhinestones that I have. I think the colour goes perfectly with this suite. So I'm just going to bring in my other card just to see where I place them. I'm not the best at randomly placing. I do like a bit of order to my gem placement. So just for quickness, I'm going to copy exactly what I did on this card. Okay, right, so then I think that's it. So this is my Fancy Fold Sweet as a Peach stamp set, and I can't remember the name of the DSP now, the You're a Peach DSP. Fancy fold card with a surprise in the middle. I've used different DSP for the inside, but you also see the outside, so it's really nice to kind of coordinate and match. So you know, if your birthday's coming up, you never know, you might be receiving one of these cards.